Yo, 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 what is up? Here we are for another episode of Monday with Molly, passenger side of my car edition. This is a new view. As per usual, YouTube, like, share, subscribe, please. Still working on getting to those 1,000 followers. I've been shy of 600 for a while now, so these are helping you and the people you care about. Please go ahead and share, like, and subscribe. The whole purpose is to help people keep evolving and learning and growing, including myself, so I hope they're helping. So today's video is part two of the last Flipper 20 Friday, which was the non-political lesson learned from the vice presidential debate. So this is part two because my phone, the battery on my phone was dying, and I realized it as I was already like halfway through. So I kind of just finished up, cut it short, and I got done. I was like, ooh, I want to do more. So this is part two of that. So definitely go back and watch that so this makes more sense. But where I'm going to pick up is, in the last video, we were talking about perspectives and how people saw the debate very differently depending on, what your beliefs are, who you're voting for. Even though we all saw and heard the same things, right? So, and then I gave the example of, there's this cartoon I've posted on Instagram a few times, where there's a number on the ground, and so where I'm looking from, it's a 9. But if you're on the other side and you're looking at it from your perspective, it's a 6. And the part that I didn't get to in that video, because my battery was dying, is, sometimes we get so dug in on, from a political side, so dug in, and look, I am too. I'm going to be honest with you. And then if we look on the continuum of things, some really, really important big things are really small, like not important things. Sometimes we get dug in when we don't need to be, or sometimes we just believe what we believe. It's all we've known, and that's it. And we have a hard time seeing the other person's perspective. So another way to use that 9, I'm looking at a 9, you're looking at a 6 analogy or example is, what if the next time, and let's take politics out of it for a second. What if the next time you're in a situation, again, big or small, there's a child yelling over the playground. Pardon me, see if I can, I'm going to shut my window, hold on. I love kids. I told you I don't edit these. So if I'm looking at the 9 and you're looking at the 6, what if, right as you're about to kind of like, you're getting to know this is the way, it's a 9, I can't believe, and what if the other person invites you over to look at the 6, or you just choose on your own to think, maybe there's something to it. They seem really all about the 6, just like I am about seeing the 9. So instead of being like, no, you can't, it's a 9, I can't believe you, and then you start to walk around, you're like, it's a 9, I can't believe, oh, that does look like a 6. And then you walk back over to your side, you're like, I'm seeing a 9. And then you go back to their side, you're like, light bulb moment, aha moment. What if you choose to try to see it from their perspective? And I want to be clear, it doesn't mean you have to agree with it. It doesn't mean you have to abandon what you believe. That's not where we're going with this. I mean, it might get to that point. I'm simply inviting you to consider, what if you choose to go, how are they looking at this thing? Again, it could be something with a relationship, a relationship with one of your kids, with your parents, with your partner, a spouse, a coworker, a boss, colleagues. This is any situation. Again, we're not talking about politics anymore. But what if you just walk around and try to see it from their perspective, and you're like, I totally see how they see it's a 6, and you're like, oh my gosh, we've been arguing about this. Or it's been just this little rub that we've had that we're like, butting heads. But I totally see it, they see a 6. Or maybe you say that instead of in your head, maybe you say it out loud, you're like, oh my gosh. I get why you see the 6 now. I did not see it that way. And maybe that will open your eyes and go, well, now that I have more information, I do kind of see it your way, or I agree with you. Or maybe you simply say, okay, yeah, I totally see how you see it as a 6. That makes total sense. I don't agree with that, but I get how you see it. So maybe now you don't have to argue about it anymore. You totally know. They see it as a 6. You see it on your side when you see the 9. And it doesn't have to be a fight anymore. But sometimes we don't even try to see the other perspective. Again, I'm saying this on purpose, again, not political. All the day-to-day things that we deal with, big and small. So maybe just choose, because they're probably getting frustrated with you too, like, how are they seeing a 9 all this time? And maybe you invite them over, go, well, let me show you why it's a 9. And simply by just being willing to see that, again, now you have more information. Maybe you do change your perspective. Maybe you're not going to be so dug in on your way. Or maybe you just go over, you see it. Okay, now I get why they say it. I don't agree with it, but that doesn't have to be a point of contention anymore. So I hope that makes sense, because where I left off on Friday was just like pick and choose your battles kind of a thing, which is still true. I think that's always a good thing. But walk around and see if you can see their perspective. It certainly doesn't hurt. It certainly doesn't hurt. So whether you see the 9, whether you see the 6, be willing to see the other person's side too. Is it easy? Nope. I mean, some are easier than others, but we're so in our own head. And look, I am too. I call myself out on it too. So it's not always easy, but it is possible. And it's another way just to build relationships, to have you and the other person break down the walls a little bit so there's better communication, a little bit better understanding, and just less stress and tension in your everyday life. All right. I hope that helps. I hope the child has stopped screaming. And I will see you at the end of the week for the next Flip Your 20 Friday. So take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Peace.